Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Holistic Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Beverly, and today we're going to talk about the Gemini Full Moon integration, how to detox the mind and align the soul. So it'll be about Gemini and the full moon. So let me do a share screen. So we can just go here. And hopefully it's going to there. Okay, I think that's the whole screen. All right. So today we're going to dive into the energies around this week's full moon, which happens on December the 5th, which I think is Friday. It isn't just a cosmic event. This is an invitation for you to detox the nervous system. Now, I don't know about you, but my nervous system has been crazy for some time. And yesterday it got even crazier. And we'll talk about what you can do about this because it happens before the full moon and it'll continue for a few days afterwards, sometimes weeks, depending on who you are. Things always happen to me early. I always know what's coming because it happens ahead of time. So you may be experiencing a lot of mental clutter, chatter, monkey mind. It may be difficult to even hear your soul's advice, which means you need to meditate deeper. And we're going to be transitioning into this final month of 2025. So I'm recording this on the 30th of November. And December will be more crazy than the whole year. I don't know about you, but things started getting really crazy at the beginning of the year. If you remember when we had Mars in Cancer, how crazy that was. And then it seems like each month it got a little crazier. And then in September, it was like, okay, this is it. November will be better. Or no, October comes next. Then October wasn't better. It was even crazier. Then came November, and it was even crazier. Guess what? December is going to be like the whole year on steroids. It's not getting better. It's getting crazier. And that's what's coming in 2026. Okay, I hope you're ready for that. So what we have going on is the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. So in medical astrology, we talk about the Gemini health themes and spiritual insights, soul downloads, and inner stillness, and the integration rituals and holistic tools. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So we have this Gemini and full moon stuff, and we're going to also be affected by Gemini's opposite of Sagittarius. So Gemini governs the nervous system, of course, but also the lungs, the sinuses, the throat chakra. So you may feel things in these areas. And then Sagittarius brings higher meaning, belief systems, and expansion. It also rules the liver. So you want to make sure you're taking care of the liver. Liver energy and TCM, it goes in all directions. Most organs, their energy goes up. In the young organs, the energy goes down. So when you have liver, it doesn't go up or down, it goes everywhere in all directions. So it's a little bit different. So this polarity is like a bridge between information and wisdom. So information is just data. When you process it and integrate it, it becomes wisdom. So Gemini gathers the data and Sagittarius looks for the truth. What's the real meaning behind this information to turn it into wisdom? So too much of one without the other leads to either overload or disconnection. In other words, it leads to burnout. Okay, so mind meets meaning. Right now, you may be experiencing racing thoughts or mental chatter. You may have throat problems, sinus issues, lung issues. You may have difficulty sleeping due to overstimulation. You may have questioning of your old belief systems. I was listening to another astrologer today, and they were saying that some people may actually change their belief system, their religious system. People may be challenging everything about themselves and moving on to something different. And I'm not going to say I think one is better than another. I think they all, in their underlying principles, have some of the same messages. So you may be feeling scattered, overwhelmed, or plugged into too many channels. And channels, you could read that as technology channels, TV channels, uh, smartphone apps, or just listening to too many different voices. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury governs brainwave patterns, especially beta states. That's when your eyes are open and you're talking. Respiratory health. So again, you've got Gemini that also governs the nose, the sinuses, the lungs, and then you've got Mercury, which is also respiratory. Speech and processing, and Gemini is also about talking. Gemini people tend to talk too much, and they can't always complete a sentence because they've got information flowing so fast that they've got 3 sentences going at the same time when you hear them talking. You might think of a person with starts with a T, or another guy with Elon, and listen to how they talk. These are Gemini people. So communication habits, especially addictive scrolling or multitasking. So you're trying to do too many things at the same time, or you're just scrolling through whatever social app, social media. I hardly do anything anymore. Things I used to do, I don't even, I think I was on 3 platforms. I'm not on, basically. I still thumb through one occasionally, and Facebook's another one that I occasionally look through, but I'm not even them. And another one I completely deleted off my phone. So I don't have probably anything on my phone anymore. I just can't do it. So common symptoms around the full moon could include sinus congestion or coughing, vocal strain or sore throat, mental fatigue or fog, overthinking, fear of missing out, thinking, oh, I have to do this. First time I went on a cruise, my daughter for her high school graduation wanted a cruise. And I looked at all the wonderful things you could do, and I made a list and realized they all go at the same time. So I had to choose what I wanted. That's the fear of missing out. And that's very common for us. Oh, I got to do this and I got to do that. Sometimes you just have to settle down. And that's how I've been all week. That's the only way I've been able to deal with the energies this week, is just to take naps in the afternoon. Instead of sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, I would go back to bed and sleep a couple more hours. I would have to take some rescue remedy or some lavender, because I would wake up because I'd literally be shaking inside. My hands would be vibrating, my legs would be vibrating, literally shaking inside, wake up that way. And so I'd go and calm my nervous system, take some magnesium, which we'll talk about in a minute, and then go back to bed and sleep some more. And if that's happening to you, and you don't have to work 3 jobs or whatever, and you can take the time to sleep, that's a good thing, because it's your body transforming. When the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, it sleeps until it becomes the butterfly. And that's what we're all going through. And 2026 is going to be even stronger than 2025. Okay. So just know you need to find a way to rest and calm those nerves. So you're going to be experiencing a lot of soul downloads if you calm down and prepare yourself for it, which means you need to meditate or go into your inner self. Gemini is an air sign, and it will connect us to the Akashic records. And everyone has their own local Akashic records. That's why you need to sleep. Your mind holds your, I call it short-term memory. And at night, your short-term memory is downloaded into long-term memory, which is your Akashic record. And then your Akashic records is uploaded to, your your mind is uploaded to your Akashic records. And then the Akashic records, your personal ones, are uploaded to the solar system, then to the galaxy, and then to the universe, and then to source. And does that mean there's more than one universe? I think so. It's up to you, whatever you want to believe. Okay, so the Akashic field, not only when the mind is clear, but you may want to step back from devices. I've been doing that. I can only be near my computer a couple hours a day. That's it. I'm done. Can't even carry, I've never been able to carry my phone around. It sits on my desk. So if I'm at my desk, I'll listen to something and then I'll go do something in the rest of the house. Right now, I'm actually doing laundry. And then I'm going to go make candles. Okay. Because I just can't be next to all this technology stuff. So journal is really important. And I think normally I'll write a half a page to a whole page every day in the journal. And now I'm in writing in both. I have a journal in the dining room and one in my office. I'm in writing in both journals. And sometimes I'm writing 3, 4, 5 pages in the journal at one time. So this will help you. Write everything down, whatever's going on. This will really, really help. And doing deeper meditations, get yourself into theta. If you can get into delta and still be not passed out, I do a lot of theta and delta. If you don't have lucid dreaming yet, you're not getting into delta and still being conscious. So your goal is to do more theta meditations. The more you do, the more you'll be able to get into delta. And when you're in delta, you are in a very, very deep state. You can easily access your soul records, other people's records. You become extremely telepathic. Even when you're awake and talking, you become very, very connected when you can get even deeper than the theta state. But if you can just get to theta right now, you will experience a difference and start receiving the downloads. So you want to get your soul's true signal in all the noise. And there's a lot of noise right now. There's a lot of people saying things on both sides. Okay, I'm independent. Both sides are a little crazy. There's all kinds of misinformation. There's spiritual people with misinformation. There's channelers with misinformation. You got to be really careful. This is where discernment comes in. It's the first initiation. So if you've taken my Home for Success program, I talk about the first 4. I don't talk about the last 3 because I find most people haven't mastered discernment yet. And that's the first initiation. And that's your first chakra, and you need to be grounded. So before you meditate, the first thing you want to do is ground. Make sure you're grounded. Then you can get through all that noise to who you are. So this moon is a cosmic detox to receive, not to chase. So you don't have to go out and you say, what is this? What? No, just relax, calm your nerves, be at one and allow it to just come through. Okay, so we're going to go through a few practices here. So the first one is we need to reset your nervous system. And so if you've had burning hands and burning feet, trouble sleeping, some of the things you can do is, and we've talked about this before in the past podcasts, is alternate nostril breathing. So in, out, in, out. So you go back and forth, in and out, switching nostrils. This balances the brain. It balances the left and right. You can also listen to binaural beats with a headset. That also will do that. Magnesium. I like to use this magnesium oil. You can get it on Amazon, very inexpensive. You can just spray it on your legs or on the bottoms of your feet. And it just quickly calms the nervous system. B vitamins, especially B1. And then omega-3s. Now, a lot of people don't like sardines. Sardines are incredible. They're very high in omega-3s. So if you're on a carnivore diet, this is the food for you, omega-3s with sardines. And if you don't like them plain, you can eat them with eggs. So sometimes I'll put some eggs in a pan and then I'll throw the sardines around the edge and just warm them up. They don't need to be cooked or already cooked. And then just eat them with the eggs. It's very, very good. And it's good for your dogs. So I can't eat a whole can. So I give some to my two dogs and I eat the rest. Some essential oils that really help are lavender, eucalyptus, and frankincense. So I use, massive amounts of lavender. You hear me talk about it every week. Eucalyptus, if you can tolerate it. I don't generally use eucalyptus, but frankincense, I've been burning it while I eat. So I like the incense. So I'll burn the frankincense incense during meals. And these will really help calm down your nerves. So acupressure, let me just do a stop share really quick. So Heigu is Li4, which is right here. Most people are I usually use my thumb, but it's hard to, when I do my thumb, it's hard for you to see Heigu. But if I go like this, you can see it. So you just put one thumb back here and, your finger back there and your thumb over here. So pretend it's reversed so you can see it and squeeze. And when your hand gets sore, you can switch. And one of the things you can do is like lavender. Most people are not sensitive to lavender. You can rub the lavender there and then squeeze it. And it gets rid of pain in the body, but it does this sometimes if you only have one needle, this is one of the places you would put it. Most of the time, if I had one needle, I'd use stomach 36. But this is also another point that it's just one of those go-to points. Do 20, so you find your ears and you go straight up to the middle of your head. Do 20 is right there, and you can just sort of massage that. And when I was in school, someone told me about an acupuncturist that before he saw any patients, he put a needle right there and do 20. Really helps balance the brain, makes you a little smarter. It's a good way to study with do 20. And I don't know the name of do 20. Do 20 is called Bai Hui. Bai Hui. Then there's heart 7. I've talked about this one a lot. So you've got 4 heart points here. The one right on the wrist crease is heart 7. So there's a tendon there. It's actually on this side of the tendon, but I just tell people go like that, or you can go like this. And if you use your thumb, you're getting both sides of the tendon and the tendon. So this is heart 4, 5, 6, and 7. They're all right next to each other. And this is all in the heart channel. And heart 7 is called Shen Men, which means calm spirit. Okay, so let's go back into share screen. Okay, all right, I think you've got it. So that's these two are the main points you want to think about, especially if you have any kind of pain. And the large intestine channel is paired with the lung channel. So if you're having any kind of lung or nostril issues, large intestine is connected to the lungs. And then Shen Men would be for the emotional aspects. Okay, another thing you can do is some cognitive clearing, and that's do a digital fast. Can you spend 24 hours away from all technology? No phone. People know not to call me because I never answer my phone. I shouldn't say never. There's a few people that have a special ringtone, like my brother. So when they call, I know it's them and I'll answer it if I'm near my phone. If I'm not near my phone, I don't even hear it ring. And just close your computer. You don't need to leave it on. Just, shut it down or whatever. Walk away. If you can, turn off the Wi-Fi. So can you do that for 24 hours? Can you do it for 12? You should at least be able to do it for 12. If you sleep 8 hours at night, you should be able to shut everything down. I look at it this way. If someone calls in the middle of the night, they can leave a voicemail and I'll call them back in the morning. Because, this is just me, but if something is important, I will be awakened in the middle of the night. Something will wake me up and I'll be told, I get a message, go check your phone. Well, there's an emergency. I need to take care of it. So I don't worry about when I need to get up. I just tell my angels, wake me at this time. This is when I need to get up because I sleep through alarms. So alarms don't do any good. So just talk to your higher self, your angels, whatever you believe in. Tell them what time you want to wake up. Tell them you want to sleep in. Tell them what you need and they'll take care of you. So write down everything on your mind and then burn it. I love to do this, especially at the end of the year. I write down everything I want to let go, and then I write down everything I want to manifest in the new year, and then I burn it and send it to source. I turn everything over to source. It's not me that needs to worry about what my future has or clearing the past. Source guides me, and that makes things a lot easier to deal with. So declutter your desk, your workspace, your closets. I've been going through all my drawers, my closets, the garage, and just trying to declutter everything. It's not spring yet, but that's what spring is for. So you have a few months to get things ready. And then when springtime comes with all the clutter gone, you'll be able to do your spring cleaning. Okay, soul integration. So 10-minute mirror meditation. And this is where you look in a mirror and you look yourself in the eyes. You need to look in your eyes. You don't look at, oh, look at my hair, look at my this, or people have the bad habit of criticizing what they look at. Just look into your eyes, look at your soul and ask your soul, what do you need me to know? What is it that I've been avoiding, not taking care of, not paying attention to? What do I need to know? I ask this question all the time. I'll make a meditation out of it, not always in the mirror. I'll just sit down and I know I'm supposed to know something and I don't know what it is. Give me a clue. And if it doesn't come through in the meditation, it'll come through in something I read or some other way. It'll just some person will call and say blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, that's what I needed. And so, the old saying, ask and thou shalt receive. So what do you need me to know? And you can do a violent flame visualization. I like to travel to the center of our galaxy and invoke the violet flame. You don't have to go to the center of the galaxy, but if you go to my meditation playlist, I've done a couple of meditations to the center of the galaxy where you just leave wherever you are, go past the sun, the solar system, to the center of the galaxy, connect to the monad of the galaxy, and then invoke the violet flame. And you want to speak your truth out loud, even if it's just to yourself. So some of us walk around the house talking to ourselves. I also talk to the dogs, but I do catch myself all the time talking to myself. And that doesn't mean you're crazy, because sometimes when you hear something, I don't believe that. Oh, did I really think that? Sometimes when you think something, it sounds like a great idea, but when you say it out loud, you go, oh, okay, maybe not. And then you can rethink it and then journal. What do you think? Do you need to change that? Okay, so be who you are. Who are you? Do you know who you are? And are you being who you are? Or are you being who someone else told you to be or told you who you were? So this full moon invites you to clear the channel so your higher self can speak, whatever it takes. I've given you a number of acupuncture points, essential oils, what do you call it? Frankincense, incense, different meditations, journaling, all kinds of things you can do to clear that channel so that you can hear your higher self talking to you. And it's always talking, we're just not always listening. So it's time to stop downloading everyone else's opinions. Tune into your own divine intelligence. It's time for us to hear what our soul has to say. We're all unique. We're all the same and we're all unique. We're all part of the same source, but we're all individualized. You're in a separate body. You have fingerprints that are unique to you. Let me just, wait a minute. I was going to stop sharing. I realized I have one more thing to say. So it's time to start questioning, who am I? Who am I? And people are going to start remembering their past lives. They're going to start remembering who you have been. What was your name in the past? I know a lot of people I meet to say, I was this famous person. And when I started remembering things, I thought that myself. And I found out, no, you almost never were someone famous. Okay. I hate to break it to you, but you probably knew them. That's why they resonate with you. The first living Buddha that I followed, he has 5 million followers. And he says, do you know why so many people are following me? And of course, we didn't know. This was decades ago. And he said, because I was once a great general and you are all my followers, my warriors. So we tend to follow the same people over and over again. Are you following someone? And should you keep following them? I found with high-level beings, gurus, Buddhas, I've studied with 2 living Buddhas, Taoist masters, other very famous international teachers. And I find you don't need to make them your permanent guru. Learn what they have to tell you and then become your own guru. Start being the clear channel from your own Akashic records. Find out who you are and your soul purpose. And you're here for a very unique purpose. Now, some of us, our purposes overlap, but how we implement that purpose is unique to us. We don't all do it the same way. So everyone has their uniqueness. Honor that. Who are you? And honor that, because each of you, no matter who you are, is important. Okay, so what I wanted to add was coming in January, we're going to be doing things a little different. I have an ADBO.com website that was my technology site, and I don't really do a lot of technology anymore. So I'm going to be converting it into my main site. So all of this stuff will be integrated there. So you can find out about me there. You can find about medical astrology there. Everything will come to adbo.com, and I will be on a subscription basis. So I've been doing these long podcasts for many years now, and people have lost their ability to pay attention. In fact, half of you who are listening to this aren't even here anymore, because people are lucky if they can spend 5 minutes watching a video. So YouTube is becoming another TikTok. Everything is shorts. So starting by January, I may do it sooner, I'm going to be just doing shorts on YouTube. And if you want the full podcast, you have to be a subscriber. So you become a member. You become a subscriber, it will give you all kinds of discounts on classes, on services, all kinds of things. It'll be pretty cool. I've had some people look at the website. It's not up yet, but it'll be up before the end of the year. So if you go to DB Medical Astrology, it'll tell you all about medical astrology. And Dr. Beverly Lawrence will tell you all about me. And Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy will stay, because that's how you get to my app. Home for Success is free. That'll always be there. And Diamond Source Light isn't on ADBO yet, but all of these will all be on adbo.com. So you won't have to figure out, oh, where do I go? Which website do I want to look at? You'll just go to dancingbear.com. Okay, so let me do a stop share. All right. Hello, everyone. So that was the podcast for today. I will see you again next week. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you're in the US. And I will have podcasts for Christmas week and for New Year's. I always do a special podcast on New Year's Day. But I think that podcast will be just for the members. I'll have people start signing up early. So before Christmas, people will be able to sign up. I should be able to get that. It's almost done now. So I should be able to implement it in the next 2 weeks, and you can start your membership. And I'm giving away the first week free anyway. So you can sign up, and if you don't like it, you unsubscribe. No problem. Okay, so thank you for joining us, and remember to be the light you want to see in the world.